Hello and good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Today, I'm bringing you another Flight Attendant 101 video series. So today's topic is going to be about getting your CJO. So congratulations if you've just gotten your CJO. That's what I'm going to talk about, all the things that are going to come about for you now that you have been offered a position with a company. Now, a CJO, for those of you who don't know, is a conditional job offer. And what does that mean? Well, that means that you are technically not a flight attendant yet until you pass their training. Okay, again, I have my little trusty notebook right here, so I'm going to be reading from that. Okay, so now depending on your airline that you are going to be hired with, you could go to training anywhere from as short as 3 weeks to as long as 8 weeks, maybe even a little bit more. It depends on your airline. Mine was 4.5 weeks. But I do know, for example, Southwest only does 3 weeks. So it just depends on your company and how long, they require. But just so you know, all the airlines pretty much go over the same information in different ways. Everybody teaches, different things. However, it's all the same topics, okay? So for example, the reason why you may have to go to training for 2 months instead of 3 weeks is because a company may have a lot more airplanes that you need to learn all the specifics of those particular airplanes, and the more models they have, the more time you'll need for that. And so that's something that can, expand your time. And also other companies may choose to spend a little bit more time on each topic than some companies. But all in all, you're pretty much learning how to be a safety professional in the air. Now, keep in mind that it is a conditional job offer, and what that means is that throughout your training, you will be tested on all the information that you're learning. And okay, so most airlines grant you, you're able to fail one test, or maybe even 2 tests, maybe two tops the entire time. You have to maintain a 90% average on all your tests. At least that was my experience with both of my companies. The first one that I flew with, a charter company a long time ago, they also had a 90% average that you had to always be at 90 or above. And they only gave one retry. This new company that I'm working with gave you 2 new tries. I don't know how many tries the other companies might do, but I'm guessing it's probably around the same. So keep in mind that a passing grade is 90% or above. And if you fail a test, you may get 1 chance to retake it. You may get 2 chances to retake it. It depends on your airline. A great example of the odds is that, for example, I had a class starting with 60 people, I believe it was, when we started. And by the end of the 5 weeks or 4.5 weeks, we only had 50. So if you can look at that and realize that even though you might have been accepted, there is a possibility that if you're not a good test taker, or you spend your time partying and having a good time instead of studying like you should be, there is a possibility that at some point you may be let go from the program, and they'll encourage you obviously to try back to apply within the airline. They usually ask for 6 months time in between applications. So that is something that you could be looking at. So keep that in mind. Okay, now let's say that you do get your conditional job offer. Depending on what city your airline's training facility is at, you will more than likely have to be in a training center facility where you are roommating with someone, or they might put you in a hotel that's close by. And they usually offer the shuttles to and from the airline or the training center. So that's something that, you have to be aware, whether it's a hotel or it's a dorm style training facility that they have available. You're looking at having to be roommates with someone. So for someone that is not used to being other people's or strangers, or living with pretty much a complete stranger and having to, do things differently because, obviously you can't walk around naked, for example, or, you just have to have common decency for the other person and respect. Well, for me, for example, I was lucky enough that my training was in the same town that I live in. So I was very, very fortunate that I got to go home every single night after, a full day of training. That also has its drawbacks. For example, everybody that was at the hotel got to, they would get together in the lobby and they would all study together. So, you have that camaraderie that you can make friends and study together and help each other out. I didn't have that. I mean, I was in my house. I'm still a pretty good studier anyway, so I really didn't mind. But, that's something that, you have to think about, is the fact that, you are going to be in a hotel with a stranger for maybe up to 2 months. Having said that, most airlines do not pay you while you're in training. And so this is one of the reasons why in my other videos I had told you guys that it was probably a good idea to save up some money, because as I said before, you will typically get paid on the 15th and the 30th. So until you start training, you will not see a single penny until either the 15th or the 30th of the month. And while you're in training, if they don't pay like a salary, you may get what they call a per diem, just a small amount of money to get you through from day to day. That could be any amount that the company chooses. It could be anywhere from, let's say, $10, $15, $20, $25 a day. But you're not going to get it until that 15th or the 30th of the month. So, when you first get to your training center, you will have to have some money behind you in order to survive until that very first paycheck. And because it's only going to be a very small amount, you're pretty much just forced to, use it on your everyday things like food and necessities. So that's another thing that you want to remember or keep in mind once you get your job offer and you go to training. Now, let's see. Oh, and I do want to say that usually they will roommate boys with boys, girls with girls. So that's nice. Although you probably won't get a choice of who you're rooming with. We did have, and there's always, drama and things going on behind the scenes. Nice suggestion is, guys, don't get involved in the drama. Try to stay away from it as much as you can. Don't voice your opinions if it may hurt somebody's feelings. Just keep all those things in mind, because I did hear some horror stories of roommates that couldn't get along. And so, you don't want to be that person, or you don't want to be in a situation where, the other person that you're rooming with doesn't get along with you. What I can suggest is as people start to drop off because they either self-release themselves or they failed too many tests and they can't keep up, those people that are now only one per room, that might be a good idea for you to go to the person in charge of, your roommate situation and be like, hey, let's just say Susie just lost her roommate today. Is it okay if I bunk in with her? Because as people start to drop off, they start to pair people together, and switch people around. So that might be a way for you to get around that issue where if you're not really getting along with your roommate, you may be able to just, have them switch you to another room. And it won't sound like you're being petty or you're not a team player, and you just can't get along with the person that you're living with. Because, guys, being a flight attendant is all about customer service and team playing and, just being nice. Okay, so if you can't even get along with your roommate for a very short amount of time, you're going to be seen as a problem employee, like someone you can't, you won't be able to get along with different types of people, different walks of lives, and that's not good. So that's my one suggestion. If you, are having a tough time living with a person that you're stuck with, as they start to drop off, ask to see if you can move to a different room with the person that is now living by themselves. Okay? You do not want to be known as a non-team player. No bueno. No bueno. Okay. Let me see. All right, guys. So this is just a few little things. We're already at almost 12 minutes. I will continue bringing more training information videos. I still have all of my training materials, and I'm going to delve right into that and dissect everything and then bring you as much information as I can without giving any trade secrets away. So make sure you stay tuned for that, what to expect during training and things that you should know before you get there and, while you're there. So keep that, be on the lookout for all those videos I'm going to be making for you guys. Again, I want to thank each and every single one of you for watching me. And if you have subscribed already, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. I love you guys. And I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.